Chocolate Fucking. My thanks to Tom Ellis. Thank you. Thanks, Tom. Time now for our daily ding-dong. Are older people really wiser? Yes! Oh, you've not changed your mind, then. Well, Richard Dinan says younger people are quicker and smarter, whereas Neil Hamilton thinks age and experience is more valuable than youth. So, without further ado, let Senior meet Junior and let battle commence.
Right. Hello. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
And come out cleanly, OK. Right. Neil, older, wiser?
Well, the question answers itself, and just look at you and me to start with. You know, we're the great vintage of 1949, which was a great year for Claret, Burgundy, Titchmarsh and Hamilton.
There you are.
And, you know, the great thing about getting older is that you become slightly rounder, more well-bodied, more mature, and that's what you want in a good wine, and that's what you want in a good man, too, isn't it? I'm sure all the ladies in the audience will agree with that.
Some older men mature like wine and improve with age, but some mature like cheese and just get up your nose, don't they? Oh, Jim,
well, I actually didn't bring notes, which is wisdom in itself, I think, there.
Oh!
But that's usually paying off from experience.
I think it's a bill.
It's a bill. When people say that youth is wasted on the young, I think that's rather unfair. I think the question has obviously got to be, will our generation be able to spend their youth better than yours did, perhaps? And I think that's where my debate might lie a little bit. I think...
But God willing, because it's better than the alternative, you will one day become his age. Oh. So will you change your opinion when you get over there?
I think always people will say, you know, when the older generation look at the young, they'll say, son, if you knew what I knew now, you would have so much more joy in life. I think that's always going to happen.
Come on, you know, we're not really older and wiser, Neil. We have no more clue than he has, have we? Be honest. Really.
He may have more hair, but I think I've got more wisdom because I've lived longer and I've learnt something out of life, not least by being married to Christine, of course.
Yes. You've made mistakes.
Yes. Well, she would tell you I'm her mistake as well. But, you know, Christine always says that when you get to our age, you don't regret the things you've done, it's the things you haven't done. The boys she hadn't kissed, for example.
Ah, yes, errors of omission,
exactly.
Not commission. But you must have some sympathy with older people. Do you never go to an older person and say, from the benefit of your experience, tell me something? Because just because they have actually experienced more.
I think experience comes from experience, not necessarily from age. But often, you know, of course, experience is the most valuable thing, and I often go to my elders.
Does this mean you don't respect your elders very much?
If I'm looking for niche experience, I'll go for people who have experience in that area. I don't assume that just because they're older than me, they have more experience in one thing than I do.
Well, you see, I mean, that's pretty fair, isn't it? Pretty fair.
Well, it's certainly not necessarily true, but in this case, it certainly is, isn't it?
Are they quicker to respond, younger people, than older?
I think probably the first with the wrong answer. First time, the younger people.
Yes.
But I think at the moment we're very, very quick to learn. It's amazing, actually. I feel intimidated. The other day I was talking about 3D printing, or Zinting, as we now call it.
Do we?
And some boys, must have been about 8, said... I was talking about printing with titanium powder, and he said, God, that'll be expensive. I thought, titanium powder, you know the value of that at 8. When I was 8, I could just about grab a handful of my dog's hair and tug it. I had no idea.
Neil's only just got to grips with what titanium is. He thinks it's what you make tennis rackets out of. So there you are,
I haven't spent a great deal of my life worrying about the price of titanium powder, I have to admit. But...
No, but if you marry a tennis player, you'll spend time worrying about how much you're spending on a racket. We've heard what Richard and Neil have to say, but we want to know your thoughts. You can contact us via our Facebook page or by emailing alan@itv.com. Later, we'll be putting the question to our audience, as if there's any point. We'll have a deciding vote at the end of the show, but for now, my thanks to Neil Hamilton and Richard Dinan. Thank you both very much. Stay there. There we are. Coming up, where are the best views in England? Well, Simon Jenkins has travelled the country and found them almost all. Plus, singing sensation Beverly Knight on what it's like to play Whitney Houston's most iconic role in the West End version of The Bodyguard. All coming up next.